Hello, everyone. We'll be starting shortly. I am getting everything set up, and then we should be good to go. Okay, that's all set up. That's all fine. That's all good. Bring up on there. No draw frames. Get rid of this. I think everything's fine. So, without further ado, let us begin. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another stream of Phoenix Wright Trilogy. Where we had last left off, we had actually finished off the second game of the trilogy. I've forgotten its name already. Ace Attorney's the first one. Justice for All. There we go. We finished Justice for All, and today we're starting the third game, Trials and Tribulations. So, out of the three for this game, or for this trilogy, I know the third game the least. I believe I played the third game 3 times, and I didn't finish the third time. So yeah, it's been a while. The last time I played it was probably, oh god, sometime after Apollo Justice, I think. Yeah. So I remember a majority of what happened in this. I know like maybe 2 things, maybe, I think, that I recall. But we'll see how this goes. And go from there. It's like, it's essentially re-experiencing the game again because I don't remember a majority of it, so I'm just like, oh, I can't wait. So we'll see what happens. So without further ado, let us switch over to the game and begin today. There's no real like catch up because basically it's a new game today, so there's no catch up to say, oh well, this and this happened last time, because the only thing that happened last time was that I finished the other game. So yeah. I need to bring up the thing first, so let's do that before I load it. Doobie-doobie-doo. There you are. Boot up the trilogy. Just think, when we finish this game, the third game might be out, or the next trilogy set will be out. Who knows? But I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I won't be able to play it immediately because I have to get it first, but you get the point. Refresh that. Show up there. Yes. Okay, that's all good. Everything seems fine, so let us begin. Alright, so, not continue, it's a new game. We need to go to Trials and Tribulations. Does this picture actually change as we go along? No, pretty much stays the same. It's just the title that changes for this part. Alright, play this game. First one is Hey Swordmaster, welcome. You just managed to make it in time. First episode, Turnabout Memories. It's a phoenix with a heart thingy. And Mia. Yes. Ooh, spooky music. How did I get into this mess? Whoever I am. Why? Why did I do that? And then he exploded. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Oh no. It wasn't me. I didn't. I didn't do it. Five years earlier, Mia Fey, second trial. That's different. Why is it blue? Alright, now I can catch up and chat. Yo, would have been funny. I need to move that because it's in the wrong area. Would have been funny if the spike started drooping with each further installment. Yeah. What happened in the previous stream? Yeah, we pretty much found or let our defendant get found guilty because, you know, he was a murderer. He hired an assassin to kill someone. So, but everyone was happy. And now we're in the past. April 11th, 9:40 a.m. Mia. I'm playing as Mia. Phew, it's finally time. I think I'm kind of nervous. Oh, I immediately know who that is. Ahem. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, good morning. Ah, Mia. Please calm yourself down. I need to grow a mustache to speak his voice. You're gonna get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know? What are you talking about? I'm relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed. Let's let go of my pals. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I'm Marvin Grossberg. I'm at your service. Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you surprised me. What, with your earnest request last night? Let me handle this case, you suddenly said. Quite forcefully, too. I just found out yesterday about the case, I mean. What? And you already learned all the relevant facts? Well, about that, you see, I mean, of course I have, I think. Oh, dear. In any case, don't let our client see you so nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client. Hello. It's Baby Phoenix. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say, I'll give it all I got. Yep, it'll be fine, no problem. Achoo. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Rye? Actually, it's right. Like the Flying Brothers. People screw it up all the time. Look at him so happy. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. My doc says this way I won't give it to anyone else, but be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright, you have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Oh, wow. Please, let go of my shirt. That's right, he's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. First time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. But that'll be a story for another time. It's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client and for myself. It's a young Mia, and apparently she's very physical because she keeps grabbing people. Where in the last game she was like cool as a cucumber and being like kind of not really standoffish, but you know, hands off. Now she's like physically grabbing people, choking them out, slam dumping them in the floor or whatever. Court now is a session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. She's alive! Oh god, it's pain. I need to remember how I did his voice, because he always shows up at the first case, but I always forget his voice. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't that him standing right next to you? Yes, well, you're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Pain gives pain to the voice, yes. Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him the toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It'll all be over soon. I already hate you. I hate you more already. What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me? Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of the events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow, who kind of looks like the guy from our previous case. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology. Pharmacology. I don't even think that's a word, but okay. I mean, that's the first time I've heard it. Sounds like he was a very bright young man. Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Oh, umbrella, wires, a snake. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body and the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway. Only then they called the cops, or the police. Certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo into the court as record as evidence. Why did they take it like that anyway? Like on the ground at a weird angle. Just take the body, picture of the scene. You have to get on the ground like you're some sort of model photographer. By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death. Unusual death? What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. Huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I'm a genteel man, if you will. A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of. A perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on. Please let me know. Please say you know at least that much. I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. What? Now see here. The details of this case are filed under the court record. But you know that already, didn't you? Ah, the court record. I think I can see that by pressing tab, she said to herself. Proof of my profession. The first and last time I wore it was a year ago. Date and time of death was 4/9 at 3 p.m. Cause of death was a fatal electrical shock. My superior and the head of Grossberg Law Offices is 61. 21. My client, a third-year art student at Ivy University. He currently has a cold. The victim, he was a fourth-year pharmacology student at Ivy University. Phoenix Wright's girlfriend dated the victim, Doug Swallow, up until 8 months ago. Winston Payne. Prosecutor for this trial, a veteran lawyer with little too much confidence. What's with that smile? All of the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer, my dear. Yes, sir, I'll do just that. Gotta stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. Just press tab here. Again. Cause of death. Yeah, fatal electrical shock. Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death? Electrocution, asphyxiation, hypothermia. According to the court record, it was a fatal electrical shock. In other words, electrocution. Electrocution? How could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new, super powerful stun gun, perhaps? I mean, even basic stun guns can kill people if done correctly, incorrectly. The answer to that will become crystal clear at this trial, Your Honor, or as this trial proceeds. But before that, there is one more vital issue. What's that? Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Stop fiddling with your hair. Bad blood? What do you mean? Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. That's Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? At this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence. I guess because they dated, maybe this person? Evidence? No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all of our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it into the old greybeard's face. Yes, sir. Into old greybeard's face. Mr. Grossberg, try to set a better example for the young lady. Yeah, evidence is the only thing isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are there as well. You can toggle between a profile and evidence with the tab button. Be sure to go over it all. You're talking about a tab button? I don't know what that is. Now then, let's see what you got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim? Oh, that's her voice? Okay. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this. This woman here. Who looks like she doesn't have any eyes. They're just pits of brown. Dahlia Hawthorne, is it? Or Dahlia? Very good, Miss Fay. You see, I picked up at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. About up until 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story. He's done it again. Before the cross-examination start, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne, please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Fay? It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. Very well. I mean, apparently we can object to that. I don't know why. We couldn't before. Court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. Could you wear a more obnoxious shirt? Witness, please state your name and occupation. Oh, yeah, my name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect. No, he means what did you do before you were arrested? Oh, insurance. I can't do fake sneezes at the moment. I was a university student. Mr. Wright, you understand you are suspected of the death of a fellow student, Doc Swat, but I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you I was... Yeah, we'll go with that. Will the defendant please refrain from passing on his call to the rest of us? It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor. I'm on it, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The victim and I admit I was there. But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I mean, I never even walked up to that stuck-up British wannabe. Ah, I see. So you hardly knew the victim. Right, like I said, I'm not a killer. Ooh, looks like the judge understands. You're being naive, you know. Too naive. Huh? It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady. And that would be... This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination. Cross-examination? He's right. And it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. It's also the prosecution, but whatever. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions. Contradictions? If a witness is lying, their statement will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client. Even if he is your client in court, all my lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see. What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony just now, that there was a lie? Contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Fay. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. Harlem Shake. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Now we hear like the first investigation song for this. To be honest, I think this is the weakest out of the entire series. I don't like it, but that's just me. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened anyway. Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence. Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident. A coincidence, huh? You say you found the body, so who called the police? Huh? Unfortunately, it was some other students that notified the police. I keep copying his behavior. I'm tapping my forehead as I talk. Other students? That's correct. They were witnesses. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body in shock. What? Is this true, Mr. Wright? Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind? I mean, it's not his fault. It's just a response. Is his body sneezing? He can't just not sneeze. Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body. But I... So, you didn't know his face, or even his name, right? Right. Well, no. That is, I mean... So, which is it? Did you know him or not? Now, see here. You can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day. Well, I guess I did know his name. News to me? Why didn't you tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly. Who is this Dolly person? Ah, yes. That would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, I see. Ah, young love, so bittersweet. But that's all I knew about him. Mr. Wright, you said the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. Alright, Raffatron, thanks for dropping by. I'm actually just reading the chat now. OST for the game, it seems like they didn't really bother to upgrade the soundtrack like they did for Ace Attorney 1. Yeah, I can see that. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Well, Mr. Wright? No, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear. Mr. Wright, I'll give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe? Yeah, why'd he try to be me? Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. you see at the crime scene the Union Jack, I mean? Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. You know, keep saying that makes you seem more guilty. He's acting fishier than the salmon I caught last night. Hey, if she caught it herself, that'd be one thing. Now, because I'm thinking that she keeps grabbing people at this age, I'm thinking that she just literally dives into the ocean, grabs the fish and wrestles it onto the land. Can I ask you something, Miss Faye? Yes, Your Honor? What is it then? What is it now? Who is this person anyway? This Union Jack fellow? The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag. Oh, I see. So you mean like the stars and stripes, right? As usual, Your Honor, your insight astounds me. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now? Mia, there is a contradiction here. Mr. Grossberg, quickly now, show that boy you mean business, with evidence, I mean. Okay, Mia, check the court record carefully. Well, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point? I can handle it. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself. I mean, she grew up in a village in the mountains, so I wouldn't be surprised she caught a fish. Yeah, true. You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia. I'll be fine. I'll know what to do. Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof. Okay, Mia, one more time. From the very beginning of this testimony. I mean, you can see the back of his shirt right now. It's not got a Union Jack on it.
Objection!
Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right on his back there. Miss Mia, or Miss Faye, is there something or some point to this line of questioning? If you'd let me get to it, yes. Stop interrupting me, Judge. Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute. He's wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack is on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression... Oh, whoops. But if that was the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? I guess it was like... I was under the impression that he was wearing the jacket at that scene of his death or whatever. You'd have no idea what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Please forgive me. Mia, you made our client cry. Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. Did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but... Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right. It kills a cold. Good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I was a big fan of Cold Killer X? Would you happen to have that medicine on you right now? Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. He lost it? Does that mean it even have anything to do with the case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medication is right now? Huh? Your Honor, I'd like to take a look at another photo from the crime scene. What's this? In the victim's hands, it's... Cold Killer X!
Objection!
Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment.
Objection!
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubts as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. What? Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine. Dropped by Mr. Wright and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify the killer as Phoenix Wright. Order in the court. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. Very well. The court will accept them into the record. Covered in Wright's fingerprints, but not the person that grabbed it. Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken. Broken? Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. I mean, I guess it could break it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all this? This is really bad. Oh, my buttocks, my poor hemorrhoids. I fucking hate you. Can you stop talking about that? I don't care. We're business partners, not fucking intimate relations or whatever. I don't need to know about your butt. What really happened? The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then around 3 p.m. we split up. Well, then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I had been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle around the lunchtime on the day of the incident. Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible. Miss Fay, please begin your cross-examination. Oh, please, Mr. Wright. Don't tell me any more lies. What? I know watches have batteries, but I thought they were built in a way where it doesn't really have an electrical current, but I don't know. I might also be thinking of quartz watches, but oh well. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. This Dolly person is my it's kind of embarrassing. She's my sweetheart. Ooh, what? What was that for, Mia? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. Why? Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Dodge Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. So this is one of those nasty love triangles I see. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should be at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said that the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah. He was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. Alchemist, I see. I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Oh, how fascinating. Sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details? Timing? So you were absolutely certain that you met at 2:45 p.m.? Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something. Well, looks like he's right about the time anyway. Witness, please get on with your testimony. I'm gonna go back and ask the other thing. Skip. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. But they use non-standard voltages, so there's a high voltage cables everywhere. High voltage cables? Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. So what was it you were talking about? You know, at you, cough. I'll just read it. That maybe we should hang out again sometime. Hang out again sometime? I wish that were true.
Hold it!
So you say you went back? Hmm? Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this.
Hold it!
It's rather unusual to catch cold this time of the year, isn't it? I mean, you can catch colds at any time. Doesn't have to be a specific time frame. Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in the spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it.
Hold it!
On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Ow! Why did you punch me in the jaw? Oh, I'm sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl. Huh. However, there is one mystery that still remains. There is, Your Honor? How the murder was carried out, of course. Just now there was how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, has it? Or correct? Well, that is you're correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallowed killed? Anyone could tell. Just look at the picture. I'm just imagining that they go there. It's like, oh, there's an open cable there with electricity sparking out of it. Anyway, how did this guy die? By electrocution. There's nothing here that could do that. If I could somehow establish how it could be done, maybe I could still come out on top of this mess smelling like a rose. Your Honor. Yes, Miss Faye? I believe that if we're trying to piece together everything that we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive. Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basics of the rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Huh, of course I know that. Actually, I had totally forgot about that. Totally. Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. As for the cause of the death, I'd say the picture captures it quite well. What? But there is nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain it in a bit more detail. Come on, man! Miss Faye, what exactly in the photo is the murder weapon? It was the umbrella. No, it was obviously this. Well, naturally, it's here. That's... What is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard? Machines the pharma students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables sprung up everywhere. So then the high voltage cable... Yes! What is wrong with me today? Read words, proper sentences. I read perfectly fine when I did this last time. Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation. That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been the high-voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. No, the only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was the defendant. Which makes no sense, because it's high up. He's not that tall. That much is certainly true. Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer. You do? Well, what is it? His fingerprints. Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on in the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand. What? I can only think of one way Mr. Wright would have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable instead of not doing that. What? Order. That's enough. I think we can conclude that there's no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a pork in us. We're done. Mr. Grossberg, my hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. Shut up about your dumb ass. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. No further evidence is required to convince me of the man's guilt. Your Honor. At this time, I'm prepared to render a verdict in this case.
Hold it!
Do you have something further to add, Miss Faye? Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth, the whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't just say it. If I told you what happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Faye, no matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I will represent you to the very end. You already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. But wait a minute. Mr. Wright, I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further... I did it. I admit it, I pushed him. It's my fault. It disappeared before I had a chance to read it. The girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Well, Phoenix is a murderer. That was how he ended up in prison. The other games were just him hallucinating while he was in prison. What you just said, was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. But please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. You'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. Still can't believe it. He really did push the victim. Feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake. Shut up! Shut up, man! Who wrote this case? Were they seriously having a bout of that and they were just like, oh, I'll write it into the story? That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I just noticed he doesn't have a heart on his chest here. I lost my temper and I gave him a shove. At that moment I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there dead. Well, the explanation is quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. A simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That's true. Even a doofus like him could miss that. Couldn't miss that, okay. That's also spelt wrong. A doofus is with 2 O's. That says duffus. Miss Faye? Let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without any further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. Just gonna save. I've got a 3rd save slot now. I like that the colour actually changed. I didn't notice that before. We got blue, red, and then orange. So what kind of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a... Is that all? Yep. Well, Miss Faye, you heard him yourself. Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favours here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I need to go back because I need to know what he said now. He said that she was a bad girl. Oh, that's it. Can you tell me more about what happened in a little more detail? That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. And then he lost his umbrella that he was carrying. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. And when you did that, there was no severed cables anywhere to be seen. Right, there was nothing there like that at all. But it's possible that you merely overlooked it. Well, I guess it's possible. What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll you like a cheap asphalt. I believe what's important here is the moment the push was... What is wrong with me? Here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue with the testimony, witness. A loud noise? What would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted.
Objection!
You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on serious, dangerous ground here. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Could it have been... Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? Did the victim belong to the umbrella? What? What? Did the umbrella belong to the victim? The umbrella's not a sentient object, me. Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella. Cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Jeez, Phoenix. Guy's dead. Give him a break. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Miss Faye, what do you think here? Is there something important in that testimony just now? Well... Sure. This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important, it's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. Ah! How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to the testimony. So Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella. And are you certain of this? Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, if I hadn't been under him, or if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah, you see why I was wearing this sweater here. Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love. Ugh, my stomach is not to be used as your personal soccer ball, Mia. I'm sorry. Continue on with the testimony, witness. He fell on top of his umbrella, but if that is true, it wouldn't be here.
Objection!
Why don't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! Order. The victim, he moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now? Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want to present it as evidence immediately. The umbrella added to the court record. Found broken near an electrical pole at the crime scene. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind.
Objection!
According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment. No! I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Phoenix Wright's testimony added to the court record. Top of his umbrella, there was a loud sound when this happened. That's all that was relevant. None of it else was important. Well done, Mia. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much for a free ride. It was foolish of me to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Let me guess. You have another witness? I mean, we literally just called the defendant. Of course he does. Exactly. And this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible. Well, who is this witness? Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly? I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. What? I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious. Mia, what do you mean by that? I think it's a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. 20 minutes? Jesus, okay. Afterwards, we'll listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. April 11th, 11:58:82. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah, so I guess I can start to relax then, huh? Relax, my boy! You can't be serious after hiding such important facts. But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me, I know she will. Well, why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean, what do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. Love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dolly and I, we first met about 8 months ago, right here in the very courthouse. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side, anyway. One day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave me this the day we met as a symbol of our love. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off, but said she gave it to me. She said this. Well, she said, I want you to carry this. She gave you this as a present, I see. This darling little bottle is filled with the memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, all right. It makes me so happy I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the world. Small bottle necklace given to Wright on the day they met. It shows it to everyone. What's in the bottle? Water? Tears? The blood of your enemies? Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. Oh, what a strange squirrel. Asking for a present like that? By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you... This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this? A newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse? Murder? What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some connection between these two cases, am I correct? I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself. Yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look into the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find. Thank you. I want to do whatever I can to help both of you, Mia. Well, looks like recess is about over. We better all get moving. I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. Really? That felt less. Oh wait, this song is from the second game. Yeah, I didn't like that song either. April 11th, 12:13. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness. The next person is someone who witnessed the crime scene as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand. Yeah, it is strange. Who let the butterflies in? Someone close the window. What's with this stiff silence? In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It is my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I might just admit that you radiate a glow of complete sincerity. Can't believe you actually said that. Oh, now then, witness, could you please state your full name? I should probably do it in a different voice. Don't worry, sweetie, there's no need to be nervous. Don't say that, it makes you sound like a creep. If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them down right down to size. Now I'll bash them with my gavel. I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you. You're all so nice, I always feel like I'm right at home. Not at all. It was nothing. If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation? Simps everywhere. My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor's all mine! No, the honor's all mine. Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Wow. Sir? There's something I can help you with? Yeah, just go on and say whatever's on your mind. I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Beanie wouldn't kill anyone, I just know it. Yes, I can see why you'd say that. She's going to be a tough witness, all right. Only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed to the day of the incident, if you please. I had been planning to go to Feeney's place after class was over. Feeny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeny... Oh, what is wrong with me? Stop double tapping! I want to go find some other students, and they called the authorities. Dahlia over Mia. I think people need to get their eyesight checked. It's because she's not wearing a suit. I guess. I don't know. She also doesn't come with butterflies. I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong. Young lady, as old as I am, I recall how hot the flames of young passions can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please tell us the truth. But I would never. That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue. Blair. I won't allow this to continue. What do you mean by that? Please, let me just proceed with the cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case with a bunch of paper-thin lies. I felt an idiot when I did that. You haven't changed a bit, Mia Fey. What's this? So you two are acquainted? Yes, we've met before, once. In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours. It's good to see you again, Madame Fey. Madame? Ain't no grandma yet, girlie. Madame does not mean old. It's just another way of addressing a person. Some people are like that. They're like, oh, they said Madame or lady. Oh, what do you mean lady? It's just a title. Grow up. Now, unless I'm mistaken, Feeny, I mean, Mr. Wright is in the art department. If that's the case, then what were you doing by the pharma building? Well, I'm in the literature department. I'm studying Japanese Senryu poetry because I can. Oh, how wonderful. Is that a humorous yet satirical style of haiku, yes? Nothing left to do when a man reaches this age. Sleep is his best friend. What's that supposed to be, poetry? Sounds more like a midlife crisis. For me to get the art department, I have to walk through that back area. Ah, yes, I see. That makes sense. And that's used more for elderly, from my knowledge. Madame can be used more liberally. I guess it's mostly because in the UK we use it often anyway. We don't use it a lot. It's just that I hear it more just in general than anything. Like, instead of you say sir or madam, so you know when you call in a army sense, you may call both a female and male superior officer a sir, but you can still call them madam if they want to. It's the same thing. When I want to enter the courthouse, I always walk through the front doors. How else would you enter? Teleportation? So who is this Dougie person? Oh, I'm sorry. Doug Swallow. We were dating until about 8 months ago. So what were Dougie... Mr. Swallow, Mr. Wright talking about anyway? How can you be so mean? I would never eavesdrop. I wasn't raised to be so rude and unrefined. That's right, Miss Fey. Don't drag the witness down to your level. Why am I being demonized here? Please go on. What did you see next? All we did was ask a simple question. Did she hear? She could have just said no, and we would have moved on. Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never touched the victim, is that right? I was watching the whole time. Feeny never did a thing to Dougie. If I press her for no good reason, I just know the judge will get angry with me. So what should I do about it? Our testimony just now. Leave it alone for the moment, because I need to question the other stuff. I suppose the statement works in our favor for now. I'll hold off on looking into it any deeper until it's necessary. Very well, young lady. Please go on with your testimony. And what did Mrs. Wright say when he saw you? I'm sorry. I was so flustered that I really don't remember. Please forgive me. You don't remember? Well, that's common enough. You would not let that fly with anyone. Sometimes I can't recall a sentence I passed only minutes prior. Please, anyone, stop him before he gets hurt by me. When you say students, do you mean students from the pharmacological department? Yes, they're all very fond of their drugs. Please try to stay on topic. So to find some pharmacological students, you went to the labs, correct? That's what I was planning to do, but in the end I wound up not going. A group of about 10 researcher students came running out of the building entrance. Somehow they all seemed to know what was going on. The students knew what was going on? But how could the students have known what was going on? Well, I don't know for sure, but that they knew what had happened. It's just they all seemed kind of excited about something. Doesn't look like I'm going to get any more details about the students. So did the students call the police? Yes, I was just so panicked. Well, yes, well, anyone would have been, my dear. That girl, she's telling a super obvious lie and she knows it. She's just pretending to protect Mr. Wright. Yes, that's how it's got to be. Way to go, Mia. Okay, that means I've got to have to dig deep to find the contradiction on this one. I believe it's probably this statement, because it was the only one that came up with, hey, maybe I should do something here. Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we? What? I would never. Miss Fay, I would not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting... Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job. Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's jacket. It was already been shown that Mr. Wright did in fact push the victim. What? There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth. There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw. Yes, Your Honor, I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony. Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. I didn't see the moment he pushed Doug. You didn't see it? Well, I saw the moment when Dougie fell to the ground. And at that time, there was the only two of them at the scene. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Doug Swallow. Yes, that's right. I mean, you would have had to have seen it, maybe. Because you would have heard the thing snap. But I don't know if I need to present that here or later. That's good. We'll see what happens when we fail for once. In this. Witness's testimony just now is clearly contradictory, Your Honor. It could be... It has to be, right? I knew it. However, your evidence doesn't show whatever contradiction you think you see. Objection denied. Try to think it over again. Well, there goes a few points with the judge. So then, what did it look like they were doing to you? I thought they were having a nice friendly afternoon conversation. Oh, give me a break. That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge. Oh, I like the sound of that, Mr. Judge. Now then, please proceed with the testimony. I think I actually need to present it here.
Objection!
No? What are you making a fuss for? Let's think before you speak, young lady.
Hold it!
Students, pharmacological, drugs, same topic. And I'm not going. There were about 10 researchers came running out of the building's entrance. Some of those seem to know what's going on. Yes, panicked. Someone slide. Must be something I'm missing. I don't think so. I presented the wrong thing. I need to present this because it actually mentions the loud sound.
Objection!
I'm dumb. I'm dumb. You say you didn't hear anything unusual, is that correct? Yes, that's why I was very relaxed looking at the scenery around me. That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp, loud noise. It was doubly loud. He said that? If you were really that close to the two of them, then why didn't you hear this noise as well? Oh, well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable.
Objection!
According to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was like a sharp noise, like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. May I have a moment to answer? But by all means. I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on and I was listening to music at the time. Headphones? You mean the both of your ears were covered? Marion was just beginning to let up, but it seemed as though Thor wasn't ready to have for his fun to come to an end yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning, huh? Very, very frightening. Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder, so I put my headphones on to block it out. Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there aren't many contradictions in her testimony after all. What are you talking about? I found two. Wait a second, Mia. That testimony just now. She said something that could totally change this whole case. She didn't hear anything. She was listening to music. There was lightning. I'm going to go on the fact that probably because she didn't hear anything. Your Honor, there is a problem with the witness's testimony. What do you mean? What is his problem? It's obvious. The problem is that the witness claims to have not heard the snap. Are you deaf? Did you pay attention to testimony? She said she didn't hear it because she was listening to music with her headphones. Miss Faye, I'm afraid that you're going senile before me. I'm not that bad, I think. Seems to be very decisive. The only one that could have killed the victim with the defendant was Mr. Phoenix Wright. No, please. I never meant to incriminate him. This is bad, Mia. If you don't do something, we're going to lose this. Think again. What is it about the testimony that doesn't make sense? She said something that will totally change this case. I guess they're listening to music then. Your Honor, there's a problem with the testimony. What do you mean? What is the problem? It's obvious. The problem is that she claims to have been listening to music. Are you deaf? Did you pay attention to testimony? Listen to music to cover up the sound of thunder. Miss Faye, I must warn you that I'm even more frightening than Zeus when I'm angry. Yikes, I'm in trouble now. Alright, I guess there was lightning. You're right, there's a problem with the testimony. What do you mean? Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct? Sure. We'll go with that. Yeah, what about it? Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right? I guess. It's not really electricity. I mean, I guess it is. Whatever. Now's not the time for science lesson, Miss Faye. Remember, it was a clear game. Look, you can throw your logic at me and you may be right, but no, I wanted to do the other ones. So there. Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning? Oh, I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me. What kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway? This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was in fact the victim of the stray bolt. That's like a 1 in a 1 in a million chance, but whatever. It appears the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental? Alright, now you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that. No, you didn't. I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Faye. Huh? I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes that day on the location. What? What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to the case. Evidence, Mr. Payne? Well then, where is this evidence and why didn't you present it before when you thought it wasn't that? This affidavit. It's this word again. This affidavit. And who is this affidavit from? The pharmacological students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. Allow me to read out the court testimony of the pharmacological students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 p.m. that day. Was it a blackout? All the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor. So you're saying the equipment lost power because... Precisely. They lost power because of the severed electrical cables. The power outage occurred approximately 3 p.m. which fits the time of death listed by the autopsy report. Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed cable. According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future. I see. Apparently the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break. Woo. Old power cable broke due to some kind of impact. However, there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct? Well, I suppose you could say that. Miss Faye, do you have any thoughts regarding to the cause of the severed cable? Your Honor. I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion. Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? By some sort of impact on the 4th of the 9th. They said 3 p.m. yet it says 2:55 in the thing. Well, he might just be rounding up. Well, I think it's probably the umbrella, purely because it says it was found near the electrical pole at the scene crime. Scene crime? What? Crime scene. This is it. This is why the cable snapped. Well, Your Honor, I believe that the only thing that snapped in the mind of the defense. Ah, that is one of your best lines yet, Your Honor. Ouch, that was harsh. Please, Your Honor, give me one more chance. Oh, I get 3 chances? Cool. Well, then let's hear it. This is it. This is why the cable snapped. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, well, I guess I'll just present this guy then. This is it. This is why the cable snapped. No, it wasn't then. If I could just present everything, I would do that. I don't need to think. Just present it all. Oh, okay then. Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony. The defense's testimony. He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct? Yes, that sounds about right. Wait, are you saying that the lab equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m., which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline? In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage. Yes, the prosecution claims the same conclusion. It was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted. I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne. What's that supposed to mean? Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right, the victim banged up into that pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break. Well, that makes sense, and then the victim was electrocuted. The cool hair flick. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. The victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable on the foreground there. Ah! In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim. Order in the court. Ah, the lamentations of my enemies. How I've longed to hear them. It's true, the defense is absolutely correct. It doesn't seem to be... Mr. Judge, sir? May I say something? The Madame Attorney's explanation. She said some things that are a little different than I remember them. What? Please, just once more. May I please testify one more last time? Please, Mr. Judge? Of course it's all right. Just go ahead and give your new testimony. This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors. What I Witnessed, Part 2. The truth is, Feeney pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole. That was when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him. But Feeney caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapped and Dougie being electrocuted. It all occurred in less than a minute. But that goes against what you just said, where you said you didn't see that. And also, who runs from being shoved? It's like, oh, you shoved me. I'm in danger. Run away. Like, what? So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away. And that is the defendants pushed him for the second time. I'm so sorry, Feeney, but I just have to tell the truth. I'm not doing the right thing, am I, Mr. Judge? Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with the cross-examination. Miss Hawthorne, previously in your following testimony, you said... Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. I know. I'm sorry. I wanted to protect Feeney. So that's why you basically lied to the court? I was a bad girl. I know. Mr. Judge? Yes? Would you please forgive little old me? Of course he won't. Oh, come now. It was just an old little white lie. We'll forget it this time, but please, be more careful from now on, all right? Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge. Not at all. The judge had better be more careful himself. A dark alley is friendlier than that girl. I don't know if he's supposed to be trying to warn her against her, but it sounds like she's going to meet him in a dark alley and beat the crap out of him. Apparently I got an achievement for that, but okay. You're saying you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole? I know he doesn't look it, but Feeney can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be. Oh, really? But I never imagined that would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeney really is scary when he gets mad. Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed. Okay. So let me get this straight. You were happily listening to music on your headphones while you watched this scene unfold. Well... Miss Faye, I'll have you stop badgering the witness. I wasn't happy. I was so scared that I couldn't even move. All I could do was stand there and cheer them on. What? Oh, he pushed him. Oh, yeah, go you. Cheer them on? What do you mean by that? Well, I wish the best for the both of them, and that they would each give the fight their all. That's very, very sweet of you to be so supportive. No, it's not. It's weird. And what happened after that? That doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back of his leather jacket? No, there weren't. Madame Faye, may I suggest that you listen a little more carefully? I said that he crashed into him from behind, right? My Feeney wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he? Did you actually witness the moment the victim was electrocuted? I'm sorry, I didn't actually see it. I turned my eyes away. That's perfectly understandable. Yes, indeed. It would have been a horrific sight for anyone to behold. If I don't figure out the contradiction here, it's all over. She didn't have much time to come up with her lie, so this is my best chance. There must be a hole in her testimony somewhere. Think, Mia, think. I guess the time? Oh, why does it have to be upside down? So, that is currently at 3:05. So, it may be... I knew it! That's enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand. You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture? Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeney likes to take for his cold. It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. Because you guys couldn't see, and I don't have an avatar or anything yet, I actually was like looking upside down to see if I could see the time properly. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m. Yes, and your point is, Miss Faye? My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping? Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55. Ah! Would you care to explain the court, Miss Dahlia? What exactly happened in this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Doug Swallow. Order in the court. What is this all about? This is nonsense. The real murderer? Even you can't deny the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for. But then who was it? Who else would you could have done it? I'm ready to pull the rug right under everyone and say it was someone completely unexpected because no one expects them. There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene. Was there a window opportunity for the real killer? Miss Faye, is the defense ready to indict someone as a real killer? It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor, we are ready. Very well. But remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Faye. Now then, Miss Faye, let's have it. Who is the real killer? It was me! I am the killer! It could only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne. Wow! How can you... The defense is grasping at straws. 10 minutes passed between the time the cable was broken and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really just listening to some music while cheering the both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you. Order! Miss Faye. Why, Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it's you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands. Ah! How can you say something so mean, Madam Faye? I didn't do anything. Miss Faye, this is very serious. Oh, hi, Phoenix. Your Honor. But please, I have something I want to say. You? What is it? Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Faye. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that. Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man. Leave my Dolly alone. That boy. He's got himself into way over his head. Oh, Mr. Rosberg, you're back. It seems I arrived just in the nick of time. I found the police report on that incident in your news clipping. Police report added. The report on this incident 8 months ago. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Right, shut up and sit down. Yeah. You better take a good look at it. It details how you came to lose your boyfriend. It does it? District Courthouse Cafeteria. Date time August 27th, 4 p.m. Victim Dago Armando, age 28. Occupation lawyer. Suspect Dahlia Hawthorne, age 19. Armando ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity or on the suspect's person. It is unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup. Well, now, we know that someone had a necklace that had a bottle in it. So, now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, really, Your Honor, I May I interrupt you for a moment, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't you worry, my dear. I have the situation well in hand. Go right ahead. Madam Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet doggy? Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Dog Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright. I told you that you should let me handle this. I don't know how you would do a weep noise. Sorry. Please go right ahead. How could you say that? I'm so absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. And the notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little old me to bear. I believe this girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be. The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then, that same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Further testimony? What about? About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What could possibly have to do with this case?
Objection!
The witness claims that she had no reason to frame the defendant. Am I correct? Well, I have evidence to suggest that she, in fact, had a very good reason. Mia the Rock Faye. Shut up, bitch. Yeah. Very well, then the court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying on just a little bit longer? Of course not, Mr. Judge. Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne, because you're going to die. Ooh. I like the song when it's sped up, though. It's better. Not as much as it is like in the other songs, but, you know, it's better. I first met my darling Feeny about 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse basement's reading room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. We're so lovey-wovey, literally make people sick. It's jealous, I think. Shut up, Phoenix. Right, do that again, you will be held into contempt of court. And now we enter the final act of our little drama. As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her. How much I met my Feeny. Or how I met.
Hold it!
So, until that time you had been dating Dog Swallow? Yes, I'm a real fool, you know. I know, letting my emotions change so quickly, I'm ashamed of myself. No, not at all. Look at me, I'm infamous for changing my mind. My critics have even taken me to calling the judge fickle. Maybe you should look for a different line of work. Despite that, he always hands down the correct verdict. That's why some people also call him the Great Judgini. The courthouse reading room? That's a strange place to meet the love of your life. That's not true, Madame Faye. After all, Feeny was not only an art student, but he was also planning to become a lawyer. I'm not talking about him, I was talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room? That line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with the murder case. Miss Faye, I'm warning you, if this has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case, I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I better tread carefully. Just a little save state, you know, just in case. Your Honor, if you allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue on with her testimony. Very well, you young lady, I have a question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room? If it pleases Your Honor, the answer is simply this. Paper you were writing. You were writing a paper? On what? On the relationship between modern century poetry and the criminal underworld. Oh, that sounds like a fascinating research idea. Sure. Am I getting old? Now I've even forgotten what I've forgotten. Again with the midlife crisis stuff. Mia, why did that girl really come to the courthouse? Is that what you wanted to know? Speaking of forgetting things, you haven't forgotten the police report, have you? I went through a lot of trouble to get it, my dear, so be sure to read it carefully. Well, that is clearly false. Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason? What is the meaning of this cocky smile on your face, Miss Faye? 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy. Another tragedy? Do you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned? The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Dahlia Hawthorne? Mo, just in case. Haha, good one. No, don't bring up Mo. I will ban you. I won't. Really. Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye is Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago. Order, order, order! This is unbelievable. It's true then. Miss Faye, that's not fair. You can't sign my any witness. I, Winston Payne, will not allow it. Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking. Pardon me. Go right ahead. It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me. Expressed some interest, huh? Mr. Judge, sir, I know I am under oath, so I'll tell you absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago. I see. Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. Now I've just got to stay on the offensive. Well done, Miss Maya Faye. Mia? Oh, really hit a fire in my heart and my buttocks. Why are they completely destroying this guy in this game? Stop it. I hardly tell which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoid. Shut up! I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know what to get that kind of poison like that. So that's what happened to her 8 months ago. However, as you have heard from the witness's testimony, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne, but I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today, and I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of the cross-examination. Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger? Aha, Mia, you're growing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear. The proud posture and self-confidence absolutely smashing. This man's ass in the back has more backstory than most witnesses. Yeah, I don't know why. What were you talking about with the defense attorney? Well, I'm sorry, but that's confidential. According to the report, you were being interviewed regarding another case. The lawyer that was killed. He said he wanted to talk about an incident I was caught up in when I was younger. Why don't you tell us what that incident was? That's absolutely nothing to do with this case. Objection sustained. The defense's question is stricken from the record. You get involved in a lot of incidents, don't you, Miss Hawthorne? Well, I guess I was just born under a bad sign. Don't worry, Dolly, I'll protect you. You heard that, man? You heard the man. Now that is true love, young lady. Oh, Feeny, please. Ugh. Those two really are making me ill, albeit for decidedly different reasons. How long were you gone? I've already answered all these questions for the police. But if you must know, maybe 10 or 20 minutes? And what were you doing during that stretch of time? Using the toilet? What are you saying, Miss Faye? Toilet? My perfect little dolly doesn't poop? Oh, shut up, Phoenix. Oh, shut up. You heard the defendant, Miss Faye. Better next time. Oh, Feeny, please. The police have already looked into this whole matter. This line of question is nothing but a waste of court's time. Objection sustained. Miss Hawthorne, please continue with the testimony. About how much liquid is 2 teaspoons? Well, let me see. My bottle of eye drops says 1/2 fluid ounce, which is equal to 3 teaspoons. So it's about 2/3 of that amount, huh? The poison was found in the lawyer's mug of coffee. It must have been after I left the table. Someone must have quietly slipped it in there. A special kind of poison? How so? Well, I heard that it's almost impossible to detect. Oh, and where would something like that come from? I'm sorry. All I know is that I overheard the police saying. They said something about using advanced chemical processes to purify it. Chemical processes? Oh, well, that's quite impressive. Most impressive. Right, I swear to God, if you don't shut up, I'll get you a guilty verdict. Yeah. The better question is, how did the criminal even get something like that? So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get that poison like that. And that's the reason they didn't arrest you? Because no one could have show you how you could have gotten the poison. I think that's a good enough reason, Madame Faye. She's right. And I think that all of enough of Miss Faye's questions. So in essence, the main reason Miss Hawthorne was never arrested was for this crime. Was because no one could have shown how she could have obtained the poison. Then all we have to do is find a way to establish how she could have gotten some, right? Great. Now just how did I... What? Oh, just how did a lit student get a hold of poisons of all things? Well... I didn't know where to get poison like that. Well... There was a... Where is it? Maybe the pharmacological farmer students had it. Is it this one I show? Let me go through each part and just be sure on this. I met with the lawyer to discuss something. I don't think I need to present anything here. Just a moment, that's when it happened. Liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. Okay. It's a very special kind of poison. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that. I think this is the only thing I can present something on. Umbrella. You to write the day you met, he shows it to everyone. Times it's a victim of yesterday's incident. Just pushing 90-year-old goal, sitting with the victim. Ah! 4th year pharmacology student. He was a student that was also in the same building. All right.
Objection!
Oh, I just saw the chat. Yeah. Yeah, dog swallow. You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison. I don't believe you. What? In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab. Boyfriend? You mean the victim, Dog Swallow? That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you recall, Mr. Swallow was a farmer student at Ivy University. Pharmacology. Well, stop using the big words when I can't read well today for some reason. His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could have never have obtained such a rare and special poison or in person. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you have access to such a poison after all. And then it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was someone able at the sitting at this very table. You! No! It does make me wonder, though, it's like, why was the pharma student making poisons? Like, I don't think she could make it herself. The guy would have have to made it. Order. Could it be? That's nothing but a base attack, you... May I say something, Madame Faye? What is it, Miss Hawthorne? The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container. Excuse me. Well, yes, that's true. I was searched immediately after the incident took place. Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down. But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they? She's right. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of it that small. Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying that I threw away the poison container, I think you need to show some kind of proof. Proof? She can't be good with that. You mean I have to show evidence? Oh my god! That's never heard before. Provide some evidence or I'll have you disallow this line of questioning, Miss Faye. Unless we can come up with some kind of evidence, we're going to lose this lead. Police conducted a full body search of Dahlia and over the entire courthouse. And yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred. If you're going to accuse the young lady of committing the murder, then where's this container, the poison that was carried? What happened to it? You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched. Who is this person? Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course. The defendant was the witness accomplice? Of course not. She gave the poison to him, disguised as a present. What? But that's... That's a charming little necklace. This is a little bottle? It's really quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Faye? That day, the witness met and fell for Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago. August 27th, the very same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away. What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in here? No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find trace amount. No! Ah! Order in the court. He's coming back in again. On behalf of Dolly, I object. Mr. Wright, control yourself. I won't let you bully her like this. Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat. Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her? Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. Madly in love? I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time. Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dolly Hawthorne want to date you anyway? Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me too. Mr. Wright, please, open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it would be obvious to everyone that the real reason that Dolly Hawthorne is dating you is because she's madly in love with you. Imagine if I just say that. I was going to do it just to see what happens. Naturally, it's because she has fallen madly in love with you too. See? Just like I told you. Mia, are you thinking clearly? That flies in the face of everything we've learned up to this point. I'm sorry, I don't know why I even said that. I guess because I would just sound like that phrase, madly in love. Oh, wait, that's her saying it. Never mind. Miss Faye, you can't remain a starry-eyed maiden for the rest of your life, you know? Please let me think it over one more time, Your Honor. The real reason that Dolly Hawthorne is dating you is because of that necklace. Dolly Hawthorne was not and is not madly in love with you. The only thing that she let after is the bottom necklace you love her to wear around your neck. My necklace? Back there in the waiting room, you said it yourself. Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange little girl to ask for a present like that. For Dahlia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back. You're lying. But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. Well, that was her saying it in the current context. That's why she... I don't believe you. No, that's a lie. Mia, are you all right? The defendant, he's getting away. Bailiff, hurry after him. Mia, are you all right? Yes, I think so. That boy, he went completely insane. Where's Mr. Wright? I was heard saying that. It looks like the bailiff called him, so he should be back soon. Enough. Thank goodness. Oh no! What is it? The bottle necklace, Miss Hawthorne's present. It's gone. What? That's terrible. Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me. Foolish boy, that's the only thing that could have saved him. What in the blazes are we supposed to do now? Mr. Wright, this is sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this corps. I'm sorry. I'm afraid your apology is not enough. Mr. Wright, what do you do with the bottle necklace? Forgive me, I'm sorry. It's okay, just give me back the necklace. I ate it. You what? You ate it? It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits first, but yeah. What in the... What? What is he doing now? Your Honor, we gotta stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? The bottle you swallowed may have had some poison left in it. It seems the defense has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly, that bottle did not contain a deadly poison. How can you be so sure? That's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. Did Wright just assault Mia? I guess. Maybe shoulder checked her and stole the necklace, but... As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense's attorney's overactive imagination. So it would seem... No, there must be some mistake. The bottle must have not had any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency. There, it's all right, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. And it's heartwarming to see that you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. But that is how it is for us on the prosecution side too. For example, I would trust the witness Miss Hawthorne with my very life. Oh, you shouldn't do that, but sure. Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong. That's enough. Fortunately, Miss Fay, I cannot accept your explanation of the events. But why? This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand. Wow. But in the court of law, evidence is everything. Ugh. Even after I prove so much, is she gonna get away with everything? Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I would like to proceed with the trial. Mr. Wright! I'm sorry, Miss Fay, it totally slipped my mind. I'm really, really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I still feel like I really let you down. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say? Something I forgot to tell you. What is it? That day, the day I met Dog Swallow. We're gonna have the conversation again. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you, for your sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Last night, someone stole some poison from our lab. Poison? The same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time, too. It could have been her. That girl is a thief. Stop it. Don't talk of her like that. Like the Judge Nightmare scene all over again. Yeah. Is it true? Did he really say that? That's ridiculous! There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him. What? She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Dolly. Your Honor, this defendant is Miss Fay. You tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent. So Dahlia stole poison 8 months ago too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, then there's only one possible conclusion. The defendant believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Dog Swallow. The night before? Naturally, her motive with stealing was to kill someone. Miss Fay. If you're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this. Mia, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. There's something that she desperately wanted to get back. Therefore, exactly who was it Miss Dahlia was planning to kill? Well, there's only one person left. Also, that image that we got shown showed her holding his hand. The hand that had, suspiciously, the medicine in it. Ah. There was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way. And that person was... Phoenix Wright. Me? That's preposterous. After all, it was Doc Swallow that was murdered. Well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact, you, Phoenix Wright. There's one no one else could be. But how can that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love. All right. This must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice, I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to the incident 8 months ago. Also, I just had this thought. The guy just ate glass. Shouldn't he go to a hospital? Like, the container of the liquid was glass. He literally chewed that up and swallowed it. I'm surprised he's not bleeding out the mouth. That's right. The bottle necklace, that's all she cared about. But even so, why would she go so far as to murder him? 8 months ago, just after the fall of the attorney in the basement cafeteria, Dahlia Hawthorne could only think of one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No, it can't be. It was a pretty good move she made, too. The evidence was missing for a long time. But there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to him to everyone he met. You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright? Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence. That can't be true! Feeny, what a joke you are. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me. Miss Hawthorne? It appears that we are nearing the end of this trial. Fine, I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say. You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne. We'll see about that, but first, where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle as a snack. Hey, old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face? Miss Hawthorne, what happened to you? You really that shocked? Or do you prefer me, this way, Mr. Judge? With absolutely no proof, there you treat a volunteer witness like this. She's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now, if you don't mind. But we're not finished. Fine, then ask your nasty old hag to finish up already.
Hold it!
I can't let her get away this time. Stop, Mia. If you keep on pushing without evidence, you could possibly pay the ultimate price as a lawyer. The ultimate price? You'd be forced to take off your attorney badge forever, I'm afraid. What? When was this a thing? That's never been brought up before. Why is it suddenly prevalent now? Oh, you didn't have evidence? Get out. You're fired. No. You better think it over, Miss Faye. Or should I say, Miss Gray? Well, Miss Faye, can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all? If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over. A good thing I can save state. But to be honest, at this point, I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof. Impossible! You can't possibly... Stupid woman. It is the opinion of this court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore, I will allow only one piece of evidence to be presented. Just one? If you are unable to establish her guilt, then I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright. I understand, Your Honor. I can just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets the chance to soar. She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there. Well then, Miss Fay, please present your evidence. Show this to the court that you referred to proof. The cold medicine, because she put that in his hand. Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all. Cold Killer X. Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine. Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold? If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned. What? Remember what the defendant said in the testimony? But I lost my bottle of around lunchtime on the day of the accident. I always meet Dolly, just the two of us. She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X. And then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some. Now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doug Swallow, that was holding the medicine. I would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence? Huh? What are you talking about? 8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room, my client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After showing the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That is when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poisoned bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright. I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant. Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized, I can't allow Doug to survive this. Or be survived, or whatever. Or be left alive, probably. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying that bottle of poison cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they searched me like they did 8 months ago? 8 months ago? Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way she did back then. She had someone else hold on to it, in this case, Doug Swallow. Oh yeah! Suck on that! Oh, come now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman, she has nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? Huh? Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation. I wonder which one of us is in the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne, this cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some. Well, Mr. Wright ate the necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove you're innocent. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now. Mia Fey. Mia Fey. Oh, bye, butterflies. Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey? That's just fine. For the time being, victory is yours. For the time being? Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again, I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge, I'll see you later too, okay? Huh? Yes? I'm gonna go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best. Okay, bye. Whew. It's finally all over. refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim. But even so, your witness seems to have accepted it. I don't care. I'm Mr. Payne, and I don't believe one word this rookie lawyer has said. Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this. Yes? Would you care to try this cold medicine? What? Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said... There, it's all right, rookie. For example, I would trust this witness, Bus Hawthorne, with my very life. Now, Mia's trying to kill someone, but sure. So if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in there, right? Yes. You see... And here comes the backpedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life? No! My hair is flying off! My beautiful hair, no! No. Mr. Payne, about Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Yes, Your Honor. I filed papers for her immediate arrest. Tragic, but not surprising. Doesn't taking cold medicine still cause harm even if it ain't poison? Well, if you take enough of it, yeah. I mean, if you take like a whole bunch of cold medicine, you will probably kill yourself. But I don't think just taking like a normal, simple dose is going to do anything. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning. Don't lie, just admit you were wrong. By the way, Miss Faye. Yes, Your Honor? Was it just me, or did you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne seem to know each other? Your Honor, whether we did or not has no bearing on this case. Very well. Mr. Payne? This can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like my worst dreams. It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say? It can't be true. My dear Dolly. Very well, then. I believe I'm ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright, not guilty. Wah! The court is adjourned. This was all done in one day, by the way. April 11th, 3:16 p.m. District Court Lobby, Defendant number 3. Mia, you were wonderful in there. Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg. During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius. That's great. I needed to know that. Mr. Grubber, do you maybe think you could stop talking about them? That's rather rude. It's rather rude you keep talking about it. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship with a mutual trust with the client? Perhaps it was we veterans lawyers who have lost sight of this. Oh, Mr. Wright, congratulations. Thanks. You know, I was thinking. Go on. The dolly that I saw up there on the witness stand. I don't think that was really her. What? Yeah, the dolly I know would never have said those kinds of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something. Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake. Yeah, you're right. That's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little. Jeez, don't need to be so mean. But, out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. What kind of company does this guy keep? Well, yeah, very interesting company. There's Edgeworth, there's Butts, who's really childish, to be honest. Right now, I'm starting to become a lawyer myself. That's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I am. But there's a friend that I desperately want to help. If I hurry, then I should be able to save him in time. I see. Say, Miss Faye, a lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right? Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself. But I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stop studying my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope we see each other again someday. Whatever. I don't know why it auto-skipped. It's been 5 years since I've been acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned and managed to save my friend. But Mia has passed on to a better place. Passed on, yes. Better place. She seems to be some sort of limbo, seeing as she keeps getting brought back by her fucking sister. For me, this trial brings a lot of painful memories. But it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. Mia is gone now, but even so I can hear her in my mind. Because I'm crazy. Yes, no matter what, always believe in your client. And she also looks much older, even though she's only, what, 5 years older at this point. So don't know why she looks like she's late 30s to 40s. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. 5 long years. Something had happened that made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that is a story for another day. Episode 1, Turnabout Memories, the end. Woo! Why did we have this one? Don't know yet. We'll have to find out later. Oh, you will. I know why. But brand new episode has been unlocked. Woo, episode 2, Stolen Turnabout. Yes, I would like to save. Now I just need to know if it's 2 hours. Yeah, we can pretty much just see the intro for this case, so then we're ready for next time. So let's do that. The time is 1 a.m. Beep. Sounds like a bomb. Detective, we made it. Phew. What a relief. Glad the jewel is still safe. Oh, it's Detective Gumshoe, I guess. Oh, you said it, pal. Must have been our rock-solid security that stared him off. Would you mind opening the safe just to double-check? That was way too fast for me. Ah! We've been had! Mask the mask salutations. Out front, guards! Turn on the searchlights! Better next time, gentlemen! Excuse me, but I'm afraid I must be leaving now. And then he went to the moon. We shall meet again when the next moon is full. Mash the mask salutations. Okay. October. Hey, it's October now. And that is where we will end it. So, title screen. We'll be back with this next week. So look forward to that. We'll be exploring what that case has got to be about. I don't remember anything about this case. Like I said, I remember 2 things of this game. So it's going to be exploration for me. But yeah. So thank you all for joining today. I hope everyone enjoyed. I'm sorry for my weird reading. I don't know. There are times where I'm playing this game and for some reason I have difficulty reading the thing or doing the voices. And I don't know why. Because there are other times where I'm doing it perfectly fine. I'm fine with it. And there are other times where I'm just I can't read basic language, like basic English. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm tired or something, or maybe I haven't drunk enough water. I don't know. But if it messed it up, I'm sorry about that. But hopefully next time I'll be better. But we'll be back on today's Friday, so Tuesday. We'll be back on Tuesday with more Baldur's Gate. So look forward to that. We'll be back with this on Wednesday. So if you want to know exactly when I next stream, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, do that bell notifications, you get notified. I know it's a bit finicky sometimes with YouTube, but I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. It's completely on YouTube side, but it should still hopefully notify you regardless. And if you want to help support me directly, there's links to Patreon on tips. You do become a patron, you get your name added to the list of patrons, such as with Hirorukuni, where I thank you for the continued support, and I'd greatly appreciate it. But until next time, y'all take care. Have a nice rest of the day. I'll see you all next week. And until then, y'all have a nice weekend. Yeah. Hope you have a nice time. Until next time, y'all take care. Bye bye. Bye, Sean. Bye, anyone else still here. See you next time.